Hello everyone, I'm really excited to be here and a bit nervous as well on the speaker side of BrightonSEO 2021. My talk is going to be SERPception, story of an indexed internal search results page. My name is Csaba Szabó. I've been on the SEO field for 2 years and currently work as an SEO manager and team lead at a Klikkmánia marketing agency. I think all of you know that feeling when you see something highly unusual, highly inexplicable, and don't have the faintest idea of what and how could have caused that. Well, I think we SEOs tend to have these moments on a daily basis. In these situations, we jump right onto it, take it as an SEO challenge, carry out some research, do some analysis, and try to find the root cause. Sometimes it's easy peasy Japanesey, but sometimes it can take up hours or even days, long days. But there is that amazing feeling at the end that yes, we finally found the cause and we're more than happy to report it to the client. The client will be very happy and we are going to be very happy and satisfied as well. My talk is going to be one of these. We have stumbled upon recently some interesting phenomenon where our client wanted to rank for a juicy keyword with a dedicated category page, but instead Google indexed an internal search results page and ranked this page for the focus keyword. The client was a Hungarian job posting site, one of the biggest, which covers the majority of the job market in Hungary. This client was quite proactive in the first months of COVID and after that as well. And they needed SEO badly for two main reasons. One of them is that due to the pandemic, they cut back the PPC budget, so the importance of SEO grew. And the second is more of a macroeconomic reason. Unfortunately, a lot of people lost their jobs due to COVID-19. And when this happened, they turned to the search engines, mostly Google, to find a new one as fast as possible. The page consists of, I think, more than 2 million URLs, but the most important ones are the list pages, which function as category pages. You can see here the most important feature of the website, which is the filter system. Every item on this list represents a list page, and as I said, these list pages are like category pages. If a user is not satisfied with these, then the user can type in something in the internal search bar and browse through the results on an internal search results page. So, it was the summer of 2020. We are minding our business on an average workday, and then the client sent us an email that they found something strange. There was a focus keyword they wanted to rank for called diákmunka, which translates into student work, student job in English, which is a fathead keyword with a high average monthly searches of more than 22,000, which is actually quite huge on the Hungarian market. Their target audience was the high school students, so members of Generation Z, mostly aged between 16 and 18, and they are very mobile and very tech savvy, notoriously impatient, especially when it comes to page speed. This group requires the top and best quality content, the best and most comfortable way delivered possible. The category page was internally linked from the homepage as well. Here you can see the actual link, again zoomed in. But despite the efforts, they found that the internal search results page, which looks like this, was indexed by Google and ranking for this focus keyword, but not this, the category page. As you can see, they look kind of the same and they function the same, yet Google ignored the category page and favored the internal search results page instead. This caused quite a headache to the client for two main reasons. And the first one is the degree of control. Unfortunately, they have less control over the internal search results pages, meaning they can't strengthen them with internal links, and they have less control over the highlighted jobs. Highlighted jobs are jobs which are temporarily pushed towards the top of the pages. And the second is this. As you can see, the category page was not only not ranking for the focus keyword, but not ranking for any queries at all. But why was it a problem for us? Why was it such a big SEO issue? Why was it a big SEO challenge? Why didn't we use a 301 redirect or a canonical tag? The reason is this. This is the performance of the internal search results page for the focus keyword. And as you can see, it performed quite well. As far as I remember, it was ranking on the 5th, 7th position on an average and generated a hefty amount of clicks as well, especially during the peak season, but after the peak season as well. With this information at our disposal, we started the analysis. First, the technical elements, the two main technical elements, page speed, and of course, indexation. Right off the bat, we found that even though they look like the same and should function the same, the internal search results page, ISRP, was faster on mobile. According to PageSpeed Insights, it received almost twice as many points than the category page. Moving on to the indexation, it's just important to mention that unfortunately there wasn't any sitemap at the time of the analysis. Now the site has, but not at that time. But apart from that, we excluded the three most probable causes quite quickly because we found that there was no index tag implemented, there wasn't any robots.txt exclusion, and there wasn't any nofollow tags or attributes at all. And no great story is without a plot twist, and we had ours as well, because it turned out that the page was actually indexed by Google, but as you could see, it generated zero traffic and wasn't ranking for our focus keyword at all. I didn't want to spoil it, but actually it was ranking for 3 queries, but 2 of them are bogus. Here is the Hungarian translation of them. The first one is quite straightforward, profession diákmunka, profession is the brand name, and diákmunka is student job. The second is KFC order Kecskemét. Kecskemét is a city in Hungary. And the third one is KFC opening Sziget-Szentmiklós. Sziget-Szentmiklós is in the agglomeration of Budapest. So these two have nothing to do with our focus keyword. So the question pertained, why did Google deem the internal search results page more useful for the target audience? And by moving on to the content analysis, this is where it got exciting, and this is where we started to have a pretty good idea of what's happening here. The first minor shocking moment for us was to see the difference between the available jobs, because it turned out that there was a tad more available jobs on the internal search results page than on the category page. Again, even though they should function the same, there was a difference between in the available jobs. And the next one is the number of times the focus keyword appeared on these pages. Normally it wouldn't be such a big issue, but the contrast was so high we just couldn't ignore it, so we had to take a closer look. We found that the number of times it appeared on the internal search results page was 95 times, whereas on the category page it appeared only 29 times, from which it appeared 20 times in the H2 headings and only 4 times on the category page. And why did we have to analyze the H2 headings as well? Well, the reason is that if you take a look at this page, then if you see the names of the job openings, then you see H2 headings. Each H2 heading represents the name of the job opening. So If the focus keyword is present in the name of the job opening, then it sends a quite strong message to Google's algorithm as well. And no wonder that the term frequency, inverse document frequency score for our focus keyword was much higher on the internal search results page, 0.73, compared to category page, 0.58. Every category page has a brief description about that particular category, and student jobs were not an exception of that as well. There was a short general description about student jobs on the category page, but there was none on the internal search results page. After the content analysis, we turned our attention to other relevant elements, which weren't necessarily SEO related, but had more to do with usability, and there was two of them to be precise. The first one is the highlight of the focus keyword on the pages. Because on the internal search results page, if a user typed in something in the internal search box, then the expressions matching this query were highlighted in magenta color in the H2 headings on the page, so in the names of the job openings. It has nothing to do with SEO, it doesn't have any SEO power, but in terms of usability, it actually does help a lot, especially if the users we are talking about are high school students who are quite impatient and need a solution right away. The presence of internship offers. So unfortunately, both of these pages had internship offers on them, but there was way more on the category page, and they were more likely to be closer to the top. And the problem with internship offers is that they cover an entirely different target group. As I said, student jobs are for high school students aged between 16 to 18, whereas internships are more for university students who are aged between 20 to 23. Internships are more of white-collar-ish jobs, so they require some kind of special knowledge, special skills, whereas student jobs don't necessarily need these. So again, the presence of internship offers is simply not relevant for our target group. Now we had a pretty good understanding of what's going on in this situation, but for the sake of the analysis, we checked the backlinks as well and the backlink profile as well. No surprises, the category page was deemed more authoritative according to Moz and Majestic's Trust Flow as well, and the number of backlinks was higher in the case of the category page as well. We checked the Google Search Console as well, but we didn't find any data regarding this. And as far as I remember, we analyzed it with SEMrush too, but the ISRP had 0 backlinks and the category page had some backlinks. Now we covered every aspect of the analysis, so let's revise the situation and decide from the algorithm's perspective. Users are looking for student jobs from as many opportunities as they can. The users are, again, high school students, members of the Generation Z, aged between 16 to 18, who are very mobile and very tech-savvy and notoriously impatient, especially when it comes to page speed. They need the best content in the most comfortable way delivered possible. In that regard, which page will Google pick? Or in other words, which page will have the target audience more? On the left side, we have the category page. It has less available job offers. The focus keyword appears 29 times, from which it only appears 4 times in the H2 heading, so in the names of the job openings, and the page loads slowly on mobile, which is very important to our target group. On the right side, we have the internal search results page. It has slightly more available offers. The focus keyword appears 95 times, from which the focus keyword appears 20 times in the H2 headings, again, in the names of the job openings. And the page loads similarly slowly, but a bit faster than its category page counterpart. No wonder the algorithm will pick the internal search results page. So if we ask the million-dollar question that why did Google pick the internal search results page over the category page, the answer is this. Google picked the internal search results page because in the algorithm's logic, exclamation mark, the target audience has more and better opportunities of finding a student job on it versus on the category page. Plus, it's slightly more user-friendly. After this, we presented our findings to our client, and it turned out that there is one more quite solid reason which could have led to this situation, which I like to refer to as the clash of algorithms. Because there is a quite sophisticated internal ranking algorithm on the category pages. This internal ranking algorithm has a very specific purpose, which is maximizing the client's business goals, whereas the internal search algorithm is more of a relevancy matching algorithm. So the same as Google's. Both Google's and the ISRP's algorithm has more or less the same purpose, so helping the users solve their problems by presenting them the most useful and relevant results. By that logic, and due to the reasons we've discussed throughout this presentation, Google favors the ISRP. What does it mean? It means that Google will index the internal search results page and rank this page for the focus keyword. The client at the end decided to simply change the link on the homepage you saw at the beginning of the presentation. The website is so complex, they didn't want to change the whole background logic of it just because of a minor hiccup. So this was a quite simple solution our client chose. In summary, the moral of the story is that if you're working with a client who has a very, very sophisticated internal ranking algorithm or any kind of algorithm, then I highly recommend you to check the rankings and keep an eye on them, because ranking gaps can happen. Ranking gaps meaning that it can happen that other pages will rank for the desired focus keywords instead of dedicated pages such as a category page or a subcategory page or a service page, etc. It's not necessarily a problem, but can wreak havoc and cause some sleepless nights, which will make the client frustrated, thus making the SEO frustrated. So make sure to check the most important signals, not only those which are crucial to Google, but especially those which are the most important to your target group. But in the future, if you'll ever see something like this, then you'll have a pretty good idea of what's going on in the background right from the start. Thank you everyone for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed my presentation. Hit me up in the comment section if you have any questions. I'll be here all day, or write me an email. Find me on LinkedIn and let's connect, or follow my Twitter. Although I'm not that active, I will be more than happy to follow you back and like your tweets. Thank you again, and enjoy the rest of the amazing BrightonSEO 2021 talks, because there are plenty of them. Thank you again, stay safe, goodbye.